And we're recording, Nathan. Okay. Anything that I think we should add? Because I've just been scrolling through the Snow White form that we left off on. I X'd out. I mean, I didn't X out. I've been reading the X'd out areas where it's like all the immunizations and medical exemption stuff. It's all just X'd out, and there's nothing there. And whenever her name is mentioned, it's blank. Was there anything I told you that I was seeing like that stood out to you?
No, I don't recall exactly.
Okay, so date of last
known. I knew more about the X-Type stuff, though.
Yeah, me too. Date of last tetanus shot is circled. No idea why. Laboratory, as indicated, X'd out, X'd out, X'd out. Health history. What does this mean? Serious illness, injuries, explain. And it looks like it says L1A-WNL. And I don't know if that means anything important. We're going to keep going. Health examinations. This is like, when you you go to the doctor, you get handed like this huge mini self-help report you need to fill out. Have you been there to the doctors lately where you have to fill out the little mini book of your history?
No, I have not.
Alright, well, I've been to the doctor a few times in my single adult life, and they hand you like this booklet and you're supposed to like basically fill it out of your personal health history every single time. So it does confirm that she received the MMR vaccine. It looks like no, it doesn't. Nope, doesn't specify. Like it's all redacted. It looks like she's in there. Okay, something's redacted, and underneath that redaction it says West Palm Beach, Florida, 33407. So this is somehow related, I believe, to the Epstein, to the freaking Epstein location in Palm Beach. Now, this popped up when I put in Snow White. Why? Why did this pop up? I'm willing to bet that something's redacted. State of birth is California. That's the mother filling. Okay, so mother was born in California? There's a lot of redacted. And it's hard to read anything in here. Age at time of birth. Okay, so this is the mom. The mom was 23 when she gave birth to her daughter. Town Urbana. Town or road district, Urbana. Country, Champaign. And state of birth. Wait, who was age at time of this birth? 24. Is this one of them the dad and one of the mom? So mom was 24, right? Okay, mom was 24, dad was 23. Mom was in Urbana, Michigan. Was born in Urbana, Michigan, in Champaign County, and was living in Illinois. And then dad was from California. And it doesn't specify where. Hang on. Yeah, it doesn't look like it specifies where the dad comes from. Other than he's from the state of California, if I'm reading this correctly. But Champaign, Illinois appears to be where the kid was born. And the zip code is 61820. But all the father's information, it looks like the majority of that, other than the age, and that he is from California, that's all redacted. So that's interesting. So Jeffrey Epstein, he targeted girls with they either didn't have a father figure in their life, or they're from low-income households. So, if I'm wondering what could be the potential reason why all that is redacted. So like qualified, I can. Okay, this is like all legal stuff. Legal speak. Customer copy. Residential. Alright. We're now at page 33. I'm going to keep scrolling. Student test report. Scored the highest range on all the tests taken. Huh. This spring, blank was given a comprehensive test of basic skills slash 4th edition CTBS slash 4. This report explains blank test results. When compared to students across the nation, blank scored in the highest range across all tests taken. Additional information about these tests can be found on the back of this page. If you would like more information about blank test scores, please contact our school. Sincerely, Principal. Okay, and then we got the FCAT from 1999. I'm going to scroll past this a little bit because it's just all FCAT stuff. Pretty much the same message from the principal. FCAT. She seemed like she was very accomplished in terms of academics. One of the better ones. Alright, for anyone who's a Spanish speaker and wants to read this, page 43, I think it's just like information about the FCAT in Spanish. So I'm not too invested in that. But page 43, there's some stuff in Spanish. I can speak some Spanish, but I can't speak it that well. Here we go. March 1st, 94. Okay, kindergarten information. That's her information in kindergarten. FCAT. Yeah. She was in kindergarten in 94. Hang on. Some names are redacted. This is Dear 5th grade teacher. My name is redacted. My favorite subjects are reading and science. I hope you are as wonderful as my 4th grade teacher, redacted. I'm really anxious to meet you. Sincerely, redacted. Don't know exactly why that's in there. This is one of those things where, like, yeah, everything you've ever written, that's all recorded. Everything you ever do in school, that's all recorded. And then they had that Captain America movie where they're like, right around the time Edward Snowden came out, and it's like, yeah, everything that you do is being recorded. Okay, so it looks like Snow White's mentioned because they read an article on Walt Disney. Let's see. Yeah, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Okay, this is on page 51. I'm going to keep going. Here's a little test about Walt Disney. Very interesting. Do. Why is this in the files? Like, this makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. What the? Drawings. Huh. Scribbling out. Okay, I don't want to do her math. I'm not going to sit here and do this. Let's play tennis. What? On my owner's feet. Ouch. What? Pretend you are a tennis shoe. Okay, this is a writing where you're a tennis shoe. That doesn't look like, okay, starting on page 67, she has this little story about being a tennis shoe, and right now, as I'm speed reading through it, it doesn't look, like, suspicious in terms of, like, you know, a cry for help or whatever. I don't know about Tamqua and the bear. And this is on page 70. In the story, an Indian boy named Tamaqua, I'm sorry for my pronunciation, Tamaqua, finds himself with a very big problem. A bear that is threatening his life. Tamaqua is trapped, and there seems to be no way that he can get away. The story stops just as the bear seems about to catch Tamaqua. However, Tamaqua manages to escape. After reading the story, write an ending that tells how Tamaqua escapes from the bear. And she's writing in cursive, and she's writing in fairly good cursive. However, she does have handwriting that I am not as familiar with. It's not, I can't, but let's see. Suddenly he had an idea. He would, okay, I can't figure that one. To climb to the top, okay. Top limbs, and okay, someone else can read that. Like it looks like she came up with a good idea and then a hunter shoots the bear, and then Tanapqua gets to be saved, and he gets to tell his father of his adventure. Dear 4th grade teacher, this is on page 71. This is an even longer letter than the one to her 5th grade teacher, so I'm not going to read it. There's like nothing here that screams like she's looking for help. The stairs. What? My special place is the mall. It is my special place because it takes a long time, because she takes a long time in stores, and it gives you a chance to get stuff off your mind. Okay. Also, I love the stairs. Also, I love the stores. Okay, she's talking about going to the mall. On page 73, keep going. And she's like, it looks like she drew a little map of the mall. She's on her way to be like one of those traditional girlies, you know, very smart, likes to go to the mall, likes to spend time with her girlfriends and whatnot. Let's see. More FCAT. I'm just trying to figure out why the heck they have this about her. Like, why is this in the files? Because there's nothing in here. Like, did Epstein just have this stuff on hand just so that he knew stuff about the girls? I think I read somewhere that he did like to keep information on the girls, and so he did keep like files on them, and that's why the Epstein files are a big deal. And yeah.
Lock up, what would it be, personal information to, maybe not blackmail, but play mind games with them.
Yeah, like, you're such a good student, you're so smart, like, how could you possibly be so dumb as to, like, ignore me or whatever?
Yeah.
She's so creative, too. I mean, it's just, like, she was, like, children, do you see these plants? That's one of the sentences she wrote. It's got like an exclamation mark.
Also goes back to his eugenics kick, so.
Yeah, the idea of having like a really smart person. I know there is evidence that he was into eugenics, and I think he was. I haven't read about that yet. I'm just trying to get through the Snow White stuff so that way we can see if we can go down that rabbit hole and find the bottom of the rabbit hole. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing in here in terms of like Epstein or anyone else. This is literally just a file of someone's schoolwork. Like, that's it. That is literally all that this is. And it is somebody's schoolwork. So, we don't know who is anybody. It does look like maybe Dad wasn't in her life, but I can't tell. But his stuff was more redacted. Oh! So, this could be interesting right here. And, okay, we definitely have time to read it. So, it's to Jeffrey Epstein. We have no idea who it's from. Importance is normal. And the subject is Snow White. Well, it says, hi. Well, Halloween was okay. My first one ever in New York, but too many people everywhere. I don't really have much news. I'm just going to my French classes a lot and working out with a new trainer because from boxing my arms and shoulders were getting big, and also my boxing trainer was in love with me and is a friend with Richie. So there was the tension between them every time they met. It wasn't a very nice situation, very uncomfortable for me. And my brother is probably coming to visit me in a week, for a week, and after I think I'm gonna take off to Paris, there's Paris again, because there will be holidays so work will be slow. I might stay there for like 3 weeks, and can you imagine being like, okay, I did study abroad for 1 month, but can you imagine like just chilling somewhere for 3 weeks in another country? That's insane to me. Like, we get 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's pretty much just a month elsewhere, just not.
Yeah, it's continuing on. And with Richie, everything is great. Last week he lost his favorite hat, so the next day I went to the store and got him shipped a new one from LA. On the day after, he loved it, of course. How are you? How did you like blank lips? Somebody's lips. That is a name. I have no doubt that is a name. Sent via BlackBerry by AT&T. This one, why is this Snow White beyond the subject? So is this Snow White like the person who they're actually... That's the lips? Like, I don't know. Yeah, no idea. Let's see. This is on November 4th, 2009. So wait a minute. This is why I'm keeping track of the dates now. Let me go back. First, let me just... because I can't copy and paste that one. Going back. Do. Snow White, question mark. Now what? Also on the 4th of November. And that is from the file EFTA 0088 okay, it's EFTA 00886085. I need to say that with more... I feel like if I just say things with more conviction, I will not, like, start tripping over my words like I have a tendency to do. It is weird, like, reading off into a camera a little bit. It does help that you're here, because it doesn't feel as awkward. Say hi to Snow White. Say hi to Snow White. Here it keeps coming. It doesn't end. There we go again. It's the exact same one. And I'm just going to take a screenshot, put it in here, because it doesn't get old. He likes saying hi to Snow White. He doesn't like saying hi. It's just like the same one. And it's not like the sender or the receiver change. It's not like they have the freaking thing going on where they are sending this email to somebody else and say hi to Snow. It's just like 3 times over. Like, it's the same. I think I found, bro, I think I'm going to go ahead, and after we're done going through all these Snow White files, I'm just going to type in say hi to Snow White and see how many times it pops up, because it's like 10 times at least. This is driving me nuts. Let's go. Is this the movie log again? Oh, shoot. I believe it's the movie log. It's the movie log, but this time some of the lent out information is now filled out. And lent out information's got names I've never seen before, so that's important. I could probably and it's a longer one. I don't recognize any of these names. Peggy has are these the names of victims? Some of them, there is, like, it does look like there's substantially more women than men. I know you're not supposed to disclose victim names, so I might have to look up these names before I go ahead and post any of them. Okay. Where is the file name? It is gonna copy and paste it. Let's see if I can get all the names and the lent out information. Nope, it's not letting me just simply choose. So I'll come back to this one because I don't want to just simply Um, all right, I'll look it up later. I don't want to risk like possibly putting in information to victims. Speaking of which, what do you? This is the hard part where it's like some of the victims are also the perpetrators. They're also part of the scheme because that was how he kept it going. Is like, well, now you're implicated because the only way to get out is if you start doing things to other people. And I'm like I feel like there should be some sort of like, I don't know. I don't want to say plea deal because it sounds so wrong. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Like hurting people, just because you got hurt doesn't mean you get to hurt other people. You know?
Well, yeah, no, they definitely deserve. Like, granted, no matter what, if any of the people in the Epstein files go to prison, assuming that,
If we can get
they don't get to keep their wealth, which I think that would be the single most important thing if they were to go to prison, would be to take away their wealth, because they shouldn't be in any of their luxury suites. They shouldn't have the luxuries that they would have had if they, I don't know, committed some sort of fraud and, went to prison.
Yeah.
I would probably say for victims, what I'd probably do is figure out, the time, what would it be, the time of how long they were abused by Epstein and how long they have helped, Epstein abuse, and then, figure out, what would be the ratio of that, subtract whatever is left from their prison sentence.
Yeah, I think that could be a good way to go about it. Like, I don't know. The whole thing is just morally convoluted that it's, like, really hard to tell what is the best course of action. Yeah. Found a bunch of links. I'm wondering if they lead anywhere, but like I've said many times before, I'm not going to open them right now because I don't want to risk getting a virus. I do not have. Even if I did get a virus, even if I did get like virus protections, like a certain level of it, if I got like more, I don't think my computer would be able to work very well. Because it already is old enough, and I'm just like, I don't know. Gold Coast Yachts, what? Dude, this is just another weird. This is just one of those other ones where you're just like, no idea what this is. Okay, I will say, like, when you're going through the files, one thing I have noticed is the first. So this could partially explain why there's so many duplicates, but it's not the only reason. Like, I keep finding Say Hi to Snow White. The first page has its own location number, basically. After that, like, the second page is its own location, has its own location number. Like, they're all EFTAs, and that's all they're all different numbers. They vary from week to week. Let's see. This is some picture with the label Snow White. I have absolutely no idea what that is about. Oh wait, no, it doesn't have anything to do with the movies, it looks like. Because it's also got a list of movies. There they go, trying to like cover up their tracks, I think. Can't say. Picture of Snow White, no idea. It's not in there. Like, it's got that little symbol that there was a picture there. Whether it's like Snow White the cartoon or some other Snow White, no idea. But we might be able to get through all of these freaking files. Found a bunch of pictures of an airplane. A very nice airplane. A very luxurious flight, it looks like. So if you've ever seen a movie where they have private jets, this is a type of private jet. I can tell by looking at it, because you're not going to see people flying in this, like, business class or anything. Shows the features, entertainment. Well, features wise, Snow White mention. Why does this pop up? Why does it? There's one mention of Snow White. Where? Exterior paint Snow White. It's literally just the name of the paint. Ah! Dang it. That's pictures of the plane. I'm wondering if this is. Wondering if this could be like Lolita Express. Like an idea of like what the Lolita Express looked like. But it looks like so far, like this has like there was someone named Snow White that was trafficked, but it's hard to tell because like there's only like a few sentences that you can string together. And oh look, it's more stuff on the gold yachts. I'm not gonna even bother with that. Like I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna freaking copy the file name, so that way I just can put it in the. Put it with the mentions later. Honorable mentions of interesting files. Here we go. More time. What? Sometimes I'm just like, what? Okay. Do I have time? I have time. I'm going to speed read this. Here we go. Hello, Jeffrey. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I am blank partner. She is driving to the Alps with terrible phone reception and has asked me to send you images and details of artworks we have selected for you. We have requested images from various contemporary galleries, works we believe are the most unusual, unique, and compelling pieces on the primary market. We thought you would start with the young British artists, bad boys and girls of the London art scene. Names you will, of course, know. Tracy Emin. Her work reveals her hopes, humiliations, failures, and successes. In candid and at times excoriating ways, she is frequently both tragic and humorous. Tracy Emin. Okay, this is... Okay, never mind. I thought... Huh. That's the name... That's the name. Okay. I think this is the name of the painting. It says, when I think about sex, I think about men - women, dogs, lions, group sex, and I love you all. And then Tracy Emin also, her name is Tracy Emin. I just said Emin on accident because that's how I want to read it. Then she's got another one called A Rose. So that's why Snow White shows up. And then there's some more stuff about a sculptor, and there is nothing that is anything beyond that. Nah, just more boring stuff. Okay, thought I might finally have had something a little bit more interesting again, adding to the Snow White information. I think we can go, I still have high hopes that we can get through everything. Let's see. I will copy that name though, because that is a weird title considering the circumstances. Alright. We got less than a minute. Oh. Here we go. We got less than a minute left. We're going to end this now, and then we're going to continue on with the next video. See you guys in the next one.